Hey everyone, welcome to Speaking Business Central. This is Ken Sabahar, and today we're going to be talking about update 27.2. So here we sit, late December 2025, version 27, also known as 2025 Release Wave 2, was released in October. And as we sit here in late December, version 27.2 is now available. If you're receiving notifications from the Business Central Admin Center, you may have received an email that looks like this that tells you that Business Central version 27.2 is now available, or that your environment has been updated to version 27.2. So if you're curious about what is included with version 27.2, you can click on this link right here. I happen to have the page open here. So for each update that comes out, and this is the major releases, but also importantly the minor releases as well, the 27.1, 27.2, 27.3, and so on. These are the releases that updates that come out every month, and usually these are pretty quiet. For the most part, a lot of it is just little minor changes and fixes that have been applied throughout Business Central. But it is noteworthy to pay attention to all of these updates that come out because in many instances there are actually new features that come out with these monthly updates. For example, if you look back to 2025 Release Wave 2, there were several new features that weren't released in October, but were scheduled for release in December, January, February, March, or April, or March, yeah, up through March. So this page here, when you do, and again, you could just go to Bing or Google and search for Business Central 27.2 to access this update page here. And let's just kind of walk through here to kind of see what is new with this release. So the first thing you're going to see is a list of hot fixes. If you have had some sort of issue in Business Central and you're curious to see if maybe that issue is fixed in the current release, you can click here on this link and this will open up a page here that's going to show you many, oftentimes could be 50 to 100 different issues. And these are usually pretty small little nuanced things here that might be fixed. So there's always going to be what they call hot fixes. In this one, you'll see that there are also several feature changes. Usually it shows you the product area or what I call the category of changes, as well as the specific feature that is now part of the general availability with this update. So you can see here that there are two country regional changes, add drill down links to VAT entries and the VAT return lines for Czechia, enable additional countries, regions, and so on. A lot of these are kind of minor things. I don't really see any major changes here. For most people, of course, for you there may be something very very important here that you want to look at. In particular here, I'm in the United States, so there are actually, next is the localization updates, and you can see that there are two for the United States here, and both of these have to do with 1099 reporting. So if you're in the accounting area, you know that January and February is when 1099 must be generated and submitted and delivered to your to vendors. So it's kind of important. So I just wanted to make a note here: if you are in the United States and you do use the 1099 functionality in Business Central, try to make sure that you do have 27.2 installed in your environment, so that you can be sure you have that. Now you say, well, how do I know what version I'm on? So if let me go into Business Central here. The easiest way to tell what version you're running is just go up to the question mark up here, and then go down to help and support. If I can get there, and I can't get there right now. Let's see, here we go. Doesn't like that. Here Here we go. Sorry about that. And once you're in here, you can see I am running version US Business Central 27.2. So I am indeed running on this update. Last couple things I want to kind of mention to you here. There's a couple things here. This is kind of, sometimes they put some pretty insightful notes and details under the good to know section. So I would recommend continuing to scroll all the way down to this section. And what you'll see here is that there is now part of in this version the ability to cancel running environment updates. So this means an admin for your organization can now cancel a running update on an environment from the Business Central Admin Center. This is something frankly, I hope that everyone here doesn't have to deal with. I have not seen an instance where I have had to have an environment canceled. So hopefully this is not something that you have to deal with on a regular basis, but it is something that is now available to cancel that. The last thing I want to point out here is features becoming mandatory next release. So this means version 28 that's scheduled for release in April of 2026. There are several features that will automatically become enabled once your environment is updated to version 28. And this is often the case where there are some of these features that this happens to. What I wanted to point out was this one right here, the new sales pricing experience. This is one that kind of changes how sales prices are set up and structured within Business Central. If you've implemented Business Central in the last couple year or two, you most likely are already utilizing the new sales price experience. What this does is it creates sales price lists and purchase price lists so that you can more easily manage your prices. You can set up multiple different price lists. You can copy a price list from one price list to a new one. You can make them, you can deactivate a whole price list or activate a whole price list. So there's some new functionality. If you've been running Business Central or migrated from NAV to Business Central several years ago, and you maybe have never implemented this feature, you do need to be aware of this before you update, because what will happen is it will change how all of your price records are structured in Business Central. So the quickest way to understand if you are currently running that is to go into feature management. So feature management here is the page where you can see all of these features that have been enabled or not. And here is a record here for the new sales price experience. And if I scroll over here, you can see that this, in my environment, has been enabled for all users. If you've not done this, my strong recommendation would be at some point between now, first quarter of the year, right, and sometime in Q1, go ahead and create a sandbox environment if you don't already have one, and in that sandbox environment, enable this new sales pricing experience and test it out. Just to make sure you're familiar with how it works, what functionality is available, and any impact it might have, especially if you have customized how sales prices works. There may be that may be something that you actually need some work done to account for some of this new functionality here. So that is about it for 27.2. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy holidays. Hopefully everyone can take a little bit of time off, come back rested and refreshed, looking for a strong year in 2026 for both your company and Business Central. Thank you.